the past, present, future, and why the pursuit of success is tedious and why it's supposed to be. This is the Think Your Reality podcast, episode 55. Hang on, here we go.
Your destiny is by your design. Getting what you want in your professional life is gained by following a series of steps created by your mindset. Are you ready to start the journey? This is the Think Your Reality podcast. Here's Mike Sims.
Hey, it's Mike Sims, and this is the Think Your Reality podcast. We are at episode 55. If you have been following along and letting me keep you company, let me thank you, as I'm grateful for the time that I get to spend with you. And I am hoping and praying at some point in time that we will either talk, text, email, or meet face-to-face, and you can tell me what steps you're going at and what it is I can do to help you. So as the title of the podcast says, the past, present, future, and why the pursuit of success is tedious and why it is supposed to be. So let's get into it. Trying something new, especially in the area of careers and life's dreams, is as exciting as it is terrifying, and yet it's a necessary thing to do. So how do you start? Well, in my book, I Am, I Can, I Will, I did offer the suggestion that you can eat an elephant one bite at a time. To that point, I want you to not look at the goal in its entirety. It can be overwhelming. I want you to break it down into smaller segments that are infinitely more manageable. The most difficult thing to do in many areas of our life is to simply get started, and I hope that you're beyond that point. So do the small things first. You need not and will not accomplish all of your list at the very beginning. It's not the way it's supposed to go. But enjoy the process and the time spent in the pursuit. Take things in very small, manageable steps. That's how you control the pace and the feeling of uneasiness. Consistency in the uncomfortable is critical. Let me say it again. Consistency in the uncomfortable is critical. Like anything else, it takes getting used to. So get used to getting used to it. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. It's part of the process. It's still better than being where you are. The fear of the unknown has to be less in your head and heart than the fear of never living out your dreams. Motivation comes from within. Start small. But begin with the end in mind and then work your way back from there. Smaller, reasonable pieces of the puzzle are just easier to navigate. This is something that I started getting into, and I love it, and I'll share it with you. It's journaling. Get in the habit of writing down your dream, the steps you took, and how you felt in the moment. Psychologists say there is a connection between the brain and the hands somehow that solidifies in the mind the goal when you write it down. But don't type it. Actually, physically write it. Read the goal out loud. We've touched on the connection again between the words heard and the effect on the subconscious mind. That's where your success stems from, the epicenter of the rest of your life, should you choose to access it. And review this process often. It starts to have an effect when you see the steps written down, the progress made, and the proof in writing that you overcame the uneasiness and moved forward anyway. Problems faced, steps taken. Again, seeing this is empowering and liberating in the way that there is proof positive that you do have the necessary tools and the mindset to face and overcome the adversities on the way to your success. This is one of the critical building blocks for those that went before you and achieved their life's aspirations. They're no different than you in that they overcame, and so can you. Maybe you need to hear that a few more times for the reality of it to sink in. Every day is your chance to recreate you and your life. The alarm clock going off is a life reboot. There's the story of the person who planted a seed on Monday morning and then was disappointed that there was no oak tree in his yard on Tuesday. What may sound foolish is the way in which people operate these days. Instant gratification is the expected way of life right now. We know that. Everything on demand, right? Goals don't work that way. They are approached and completed in a methodical process. Too many people are looking for the overnight success and then get discouraged when it eludes them. That story of overnight or immediate success is rare, and it's never sustained. The resilient person is one who sets out, learns about the process and themselves, and persists as they go. That is a sustainable and successful life. Past, present, and future. The past is just that, the past. It does offer the opportunity to learn from your experiences, though, for you to multiply the good ones and get something positive from the mistakes. The present is a gift. See the play on words there? Depending on what you do with it. What value is there in living in the now and thinking about the then for an extended period of time? When we do that, we lose the now and what we can create with it. We need to invest now in better ways to get the most from it. The future is formed in the now. What you do now, there's that word again, dictates in many ways what comes to you tomorrow. So watch the choices you make. So I have a question for you. From where do you get, or from whom do you take direction? Whether it be this or any other podcast, book, recording, or film, what value do you attribute to any of them and why? What you believe about you is formed by many influences. With all of those sources, you have the decision-making power of accepting or rejecting them. Whatever you think about you is in fact true. And that's a profound statement. Do you believe you are worthy? You're right, you are. Do you think you are deficient? Right again. This is disturbing for some people, and we know why. Because they are not very positive or focused or in the mindset that they can have that which they want in life. If you are suffering from this mental state of mind, and make no mistake, this is suffering because it's not true. And the good news is that state of existence or belief can be changed immediately by you. And maybe in your case it should be changed, and quickly. So how do we do this? I'm going to make a suggestion, and that is the word immersion. Let me share with you what I mean. Audibly say those things you want to be. Watch, listen to, or read life-affirming material. Make it a point to allow those positive outlets to change your mind's belief about you. Garbage in, garbage out. Affirmations in, power, success, and happiness out. You, in fact, think your reality. I hope and pray you are so much further on your way to success. As I will always tell you, I wish you nothing but the best that life has to offer. You deserve nothing less.